Yes, football is back. Well, almost back, but it is here. We can talk about it. We don't talk about baseball anymore, or basketball, or whatever. We use this episode to preview the AFC West with the Kansas City Chiefs, the Los Angeles Chargers, the Las Vegas Raiders, and the Denver Broncos. We talk about Bo Nix and where he might go, and what he might do. We talk about the coaches in the AFC West. It is fun. It's a fun time. If you like what we're doing, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. Welcome to the number one local sports podcast in Central Florida. This is Sandlot Entertainment. I am Adam Capison. I'm here with a guy who's never been credibly accused of destroying evidence for the federal government, Dorian Cody.
What's up, guys?
And a guy who may have destroyed evidence for somebody, BJ Thomas.
I've destroyed evidence for somebody.
So boys, the time is here. We are close to football season to the point where we actually talk about what's going to happen on the field. We can talk about the teams. Finally, I know we tried baseball. I really did. Clayton Kershaw, congratulations, 3,000 strikeouts, awesome. But it's football time, so go away. So I figured this week we'll start with the AFC West, and we'll kind of give our opinions on the AFC West, and then next we'll do the NFC West. Most shows tend to do like the best of. I decided we'll do the worst of in each division, so we'll get to that as we start going through. So that's what we do. So we will start with the Denver Broncos, who made the playoffs last year with Bo Nix. So BJ, what are your thoughts on Denver?
Well, I'm sure they'll have another good year, but unfortunately, they're in the wrong division, so I don't know what that's going to do for them. I like Bo Nix. I thought he was the most mature quarterback coming in the draft last year.
Seasoned.
Yeah, well seasoned for sure. So I don't know. I think they'll be fine. They'll probably be somewhere around, I don't know, 9 wins. Wouldn't you think?
We'll go with 9. I'm keeping track so we can see just how badly we're doing. So
Good.
okay. So Dorian, what are your thoughts on Denver?
I know that they made some upgrades on defense. Um, Denver to me reminds me of one of those teams to where like they're a scrappy team, right? I mean, they're young enough, uh, and Sean Payton. I'm confident that he's going to be able to probably make some more moves so they can be, uh, you know, uh, a team that when you go into Denver, okay, it's one of those teams to where like they're going to give us 100% of just grit, right? Um, Bo Nix, for example, like Bo Nix, what made him efficient was he wasn't one of those quarterbacks that threw those long bombs or whatever. He made the safest play, right? From what I've seen last year. Um, I'm curious to see offensively what they're going to do with him as far as adding more to his playbook, what he's going to do. So I think they're going to push the limits on offense. The only way that you're going to be able to beat Kansas City is, you know, if you can't outscore them, I mean, you're going to have to play some solid defense or at least contain Mahomes, right? So I'm pretty sure Denver's going to make some more changes. I think there'll be a 9 to 10 win team.
Okay, we'll go with 9. Yeah, so it's funny. Both of you and myself, I'm like, hey, Bo Nix, great quarterback. No, he just wasn't terrible. Okay, their
Right.
passing offense was 20th in the league last year, which is better than they were the year before with Russell Wilson back there, but it still wasn't fantastic. Their defense is good. Their defense is good enough to keep them in games, and unless Nix just completely forgets how to throw, I think Dorian, you said it best. He's efficient. He doesn't
Hmm.
make the stupid turnover most of the time, which is good for a young quarterback, especially one with a good defense. Um, I think their biggest problem is their schedule. Um, mean, I think they played the NFC East this year, and their division's rough.
Mhm.
I'm actually going to go. I'm going to go under 500. I'm going to go with 8 wins for them. So next up is the defending AFC champs, the Kansas City Chiefs. BJ?
Well, I don't know what Travis Kelsey's going to do this year. He looked really stiff the end of the 2 years ago and all of this season.
Mhm.
So I'm not sure how reliable he'll be. Have we heard anything what's going on with Rashee Rice?
I have not.
I haven't either.
Isn't he so? Um, I know he had that case, and hold on, let me see if I can look up what's going on with him because I've read something about community service with Rasheed
Yeah,
Rice.
so here, I mean, I just did a Rashid Rice Google search while we were talking. First thing that came up is Rashid Rice a #1 fantasy football wide receiver?
Oh,
That tells me
no.
his legal troubles are behind him.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So yeah, like BJ said, Kelsey, like what Travis Kelsey are we gonna get this year, right? Um, I know if I'm Andy Reid, I'm definitely next year in the draft, or maybe there's some type of promising tight end that I would look to bring on because I don't think Travis Kelsey has 2 years in him. I think I'd be shocked if he plays past this year. I think this is his final year.
This is his last year. I'd be shocked if he actually finishes this year. He looked old. I remember watching the playoff game with him, and my wife was watching with me. She was like, "Who is that old guy running down the field?" I'm like, "That's Travis Kelsey. That's the guy dating Taylor Swift." And she was like, "Damn!" Like, yeah, like he doesn't have it anymore, and that's fine. Jason Witten, towards the end of his career, was not going to outrun anybody, but he could
Right.
box out, he could catch the 7 yard ends, and that's all you needed. I,
Exactly.
the bigger problem is not Kelsey; it's the wide receiver core.
Hmm.
They don't have a vertical threat anymore. Rice is fast, but for whatever reason, his go rights are not anywhere near where Hills were. Um, so they, their offense has completely shifted in the past
Yeah.
couple of years. Part of that
Yeah.
is the wide receivers. Part of that is the offensive line. Part of that is just the fact that teams are starting to figure them out. I mean, and it shows. The offense was mid last year, and
Right.
when had you said that an offense with Mahomes was mid? No, that being
Yeah.
said, it's still Mahomes. It's still Andy Reid. It's still the crap that is the division. So I'm going 11 wins easily. BJ, how many wins for you,
I was just looking at the schedule. I think I'm going to say 13.
Dorian?
Um, Looking at the schedule, um, here's the thing, man. I know, I know with Mahomes that you always have a shot to win the game, but also too, like everybody else has gotten better. Um, Looking at it, I'm gonna say I'll say 11 wins. I'll say 11 wins. But I have I have a feeling each game, maybe one or two games, maybe a blowout, maybe. But a lot of these games are going to be close. I think it's going to be closer. Teams are not fearing the Chiefs anymore. Of course, they respect them. They respect Mahomes, but they don't fear the Chiefs.
I mean, look at last year's schedule. They didn't have many blowouts,
Right.
and they were just winning on Mahomes and Reed magic, which is fine. And that's why when they got the Super Bowl, they just ran into a buzzsaw and couldn't keep up. So could this be like a kind of rebuilding year? Maybe, but it's still the Chiefs.
Right.
Okay. The Las Vegas Raiders.
Oof.
New head coach, new quarterback. Are they the same Raiders?
No, I don't think Pete Carroll will allow that. But there's still a lot of change that has to happen on that roster, so that's not a cakewalk schedule either. So I'm going to say 8 wins for them.
Okay. I mean, Carroll's an upgraded head coach. Geno Smith, as weird as this is to say, is an upgraded quarterback.
I think 8 wins is fair.
Okay. Dorian?
Um. First off, I want to point out uh, that the Raiders have Quadri Ishmael's son as their backup tight end,
That's
Kadir
okay.
Ishmael.
The Lakers have LeBron James's son. What's he doing?
I'm just shocked. Like I didn't know that he had a son in the NFL. I was actually gonna give him a shout out. Um, but I was just reading it. I give the Raiders next year. I give them 6 wins. Um,
6.
yeah, I give them 6 wins. I'm looking at I don't think I think Pete Carroll will have them playing with some fire, but looking at their schedule, um, yeah, I don't see. I see 6 wins.
Okay. I mean, Carroll's going to have them playing better, but they were dumpster fires last year, so I think I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to go with 7. Okay. And the team that had one of the biggest jumps last year was the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah, but what have they done to move forward this year?
Fair.
I didn't see a whole lot of turnover on that roster. Man, I don't know. They got a pretty solid defense. I'm not sure about their run game.
With Najee Harris, you're not so sure about Najee?
The Steelers run the football too. And Najee didn't exactly light it up over there. So I'm going to put them at just above 500.
At 9?
Yeah,
9 and 8?
I was probably off on the Raiders. The Raiders are gonna be like probably a 7 or an 8 at best, or a 6 or a 7 at best. But
Dorian, what are your thoughts on the Chargers?
Yeah, I say. Well, first off, I'm looking at their QB room. It's interesting. They have Taylor Heine. They got Trey Lance. They got DJU. So that's pretty interesting. Outside of that, looking at their roster, I agree. Defense, their defense is solid. Um, Offensively, I don't know. I say 8 wins.
Yeah, the quarterback room is the island of misfit toys. And Justin Herbert, who just can't win. Like, he literally, I don't know what his issue is. If the game is close, he loses. Worse than Josh Allen. And Taylor Heineke, and we all know where Heineken stands. And then Trey Lance and DJU. I didn't even realize DJU was in the NFL, to be 100% honest with you. I mean, I don't know if that was an undrafted free agent signing. I don't know what the hell that was. I'm going to go 9 wins because I think Harbaugh is good for 9. But I mean they're going to cap out at 9.
yeah, I just don't see them having a super successful year.
And so part of the charm that we have at this podcast is not just talking about how great this team is. We don't slurp up, LeBron James. We don't glaze all over Patrick Mahomes, although we did talk about how good he was in this podcast. The charm of us is we like to highlight the negative. We like to shine the light on just the shit that is going on. But I'm actually going to flip the question a little bit, and I'm going to ask you guys, of the 4 coaches in this conference, which one's the worst? They're all good. Which one's the worst?
That's a good question. It's pretty good coaches in this conference.
Every coach has won a title somewhere, either in college or the pros. One coach has not won in the pros. One coach has won both.
Wow. I mean, if I had to pick a worst, it's probably going to be between Sean Payton and Harbaugh. Pete Carroll resurrected the Seahawks that got fired about it. Like, they were playing better. They had a couple good back-to-back drafts. They had to prove that team, and then he lost his job. So, like, we'll never see what could have happened with what they had going on. Andy Reid's Andy Reid. So, I mean, that leaves 2 of them.
Yeah.
And you're asking me this question. It's got to be Sean Payton or Jim Harbaugh. Payton's got the ring. It's Harbaugh.
Dorian?
Yeah. I mean, I can't say who's the worst coach because they're not bad coaches. I could say the least accomplished amongst the 4 would be Harbaugh as far as the NFL. Because all like BJ said, all the other 3 has rings except for him. Now, if he had a ring, if he was able to win that Super Bowl with San Francisco, then that's a whole nother story. Then I would say probably it'll probably be Peyton. If for me, if Harbaugh had a ring, but since he don't, he to me, I won't say he's the worst of the coaches. He's just the least accomplished in the NFL.
No, ironically, Peyton and Harbaugh have pretty much the same postseason record. Peyton just has the one victory at the end.
The one ring. That's it.
And if Michael Crabtree didn't flake out, maybe Harbaugh wins that title. But if it's and buts and all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, I mean it pains me to say because I'm a Harbaugh guy, obviously, but yeah, gotta do it in the pros.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta do it where it counts. So that's our AFC West. That's actually a good division.
Mm-hmm.
We had most teams finishing, actually all teams finishing around 500. Probably going to be the only division where all the teams are good. So we'll kind of just move that one out of the way. We're going to take a break and we'll come back with the NFC West.